Darren suggests starting with tracking instead of starting with change, because change, I think, is the big thing. That's the part where people feel overwhelmed. They feel like they're not going to do it, they're not going to get there. But if you're just tracking, you're just writing down what you're doing, or you're just vlogging what you're doing, then it's simple, you know? Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another day. I'm gonna call this officially day one of my whole year-long vlogging challenge thingy of doing the mundane consistently. I suppose people who usually do this, changing their life in a year, changing their life in 60 days, they kind of have a list of goals and things, and I guess my goal is just to do the mundane things consistently. Like, it sounds silly, but like, you know, in the compound effect, which I mentioned in my previous video, by Darren, he talks about, like, the first lesson he gives in that book is all about how when, like, you want to change an area of your life, track the thing that you want to change. What gets measured gets changed, is kind of the philosophy that he teaches. And then he puts people on a goal to track whatever area of their life they want to change for 21 days. And I'm gonna give him, you know, I'm taking this a step further by tracking everything for an entire year. We'll see how long this lasts. I wrote on a LinkedIn post yesterday that, you know, the chance of failure is sky high, and I can say that. I say that because it is a reality. I've started things like this before, and I usually don't see them through. So yeah, we'll see. But that is why I'm doing it on the internet, because I don't know, I'm telling y'all that I'm doing this, so I kind of have to do it. I suppose it puts just a little bit of accountability and pressure on me to do the things every day and all that jazz. I am technically on vacation, and by technically, I mean I am on vacation. I've given myself time off to just have no agenda time, and today's no agenda time. No agenda time is a concept I learned from Matthew Encina. I'm not sure where he learned about it, but I'll link a video somewhere where he talks about it. But no agenda time is basically just time in your schedule where you don't have anything scheduled. Like, it's just open. You can do whatever you want to. And today I want to create content. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to plan out the rest of January, my content plan for YouTube, LinkedIn, and my website. So I'll be showing that to you, which is cool. You get to see a bit of the behind the scenes of my process and how I create or manage and plan my content flow, my content things. So we'll be doing that a bit later, and then I need to write my newsletter articles for the rest of the month. Yeah, one needs to go out today, and then I need to write the rest of them for the rest of January. And yeah, we can talk through that. And I suppose that's it. And other than that, there's work that I need to do, but there's also some... Hey, buddy. So there's work that I need to do, but there's also that I'm choosing to do. And there is also chaos that I need to manage. That's the point of this whole thing. It's to track stuff. And apparently, you know, when you're tracking what you're doing, the moment you start tracking what you do, like if you're tracking your time, you realize how much you're wasting time, or how much you're like just not spending your time wisely, and then you start making changes, which is why Darren Hardy suggests starting with tracking instead of starting with change, because change, I think, is the big thing. That's the part where people feel overwhelmed. They feel like they're not going to do it, they're not going to get there. But if you're just tracking, you're just writing down what you're doing, or you're just vlogging what you're doing, then it's simple, you know? Set your intentions, you see whether you did it or not, and then you go from there. There's like nothing big. And that's the first thing I'm kind of putting into practice. The first mundane thing, because it is like tracking things is mundane. Keeping track of like your macros or your calorie intake, it's mundane. Keeping track of whether you went for a walk or not, it's mundane. Like making your bed is a mundane thing, but it helps. Putting your hair together and making yourself look kind of presentable to the world is a mundane thing. Especially if you have to do it every single day. It's overwhelming. It sounds weird, but it is. It can be overwhelming, and it is overwhelming. But, you know, it's a mundane thing that makes you show up differently in the world. I actually wrote an article on this a couple of years ago. I'll link that in the description as well if you're interested, where just not wearing pajamas, it's like a study they did during last COVID, just like the mere act of like putting on clothes, different clothes and not pajamas when you're working from home, it changes the way you show up that day. I feel like this is going into the territory of wasting time, so let me take my dog for a walk because that's gonna make him very happy. Dopamine for the win! I actually did it, and I did better than yesterday, which is awesome. You know, this whole walking thing is mostly for my dog. He has a bit of GSD in him, and he requires a lot of exercise and activity, which I don't usually help him with. But we're doing things differently. Hopefully by the end of the year, by this time next year, we'll be able to look back and know that I have a happier, more fulfilled dog. Seriously, that is not something I ever thought I would say. Yeah, but it was good. We did like 2K, though my dog kind of wimped out on me. Actually, no, I'm not sad about it. I am really excited about that because it means that I outlasted my dog. And you know how many times am I gonna get to say that? So I'm gonna do a little cool down and then do the dishes and stuff like that before I get to work. Not just the dishes, but like all of the chaos things, because you know, if you don't manage chaos, if you don't manage certain things like the household things, the things that need to get done, then it's gonna creep up on you and it's just gonna kind of consume your life. So see y'all on the flip side. Goodness, it's like 4:05 right now, and I don't know, I think it would be good for a little check-in. So if you would just follow me and we can see how I am on my little daily check-in thing. I have like these daily habits in my habit tracker. I did my morning pages today, so that's cool. Took meds and stuff. I am vlogging, yay. I didn't do that yesterday. I need to refill my water bottle, so we'll do that later. I'm tracking stuff. Did not work out. Walking my dog doesn't count as a workout, apparently. I read a chapter, but I did not read for an hour. And I mark the yellow for things that I didn't do that day, and green for things I did that day. So yesterday as well, I didn't really read all. I didn't read for an hour because I was busy. So I was listening to a podcast. So that's it for my habits. How about the things that I have to do for the day? Goodness. So far I have cleaned the house and read something. So there's that, and as promised, I will now I need to get some content up and ready before I actually edit this vlog and put it up.